Hello team, welcome back. We have discussed about the continuous integration. Let's discuss about the Jenkins introduction. We will see what is the Jenkins and what are the applications of the Jenkins. So Jenkins is an open source CI/CD tool which is written in Java. When I am talking about CI/CD, it means continuous integration and continuous delivery. Jenkins is an open source tool which is written in Java and which we will use for the continuous integration and continuous deployment. We will see how we can use the Jenkins for the CI and CD purpose. Jenkins is an automated tool which is generally used to build and deliver the software product. With the help of the Jenkins, you can build your product and you can deploy your product on the production on Q environment or performance environment. So we can say Jenkins tool will be used for the building and delivery purpose of your product. Jenkins is entirely free. As I mentioned earlier, this is an open source. So there is no commercial license required to execute the Jenkins. You can freely download the Jenkins and set up the Jenkins on your local machine. It supports all type of OS, Windows, Linux and Mac. So don't need to worry about the OS type to install the Jenkins. Jenkins will work on your laptop either you are using Mac, Windows or Linux based system. Jenkins is a very famous CI/CD tool which is widely used. And currently more than 300,000 downloads and installation of the Jenkins is being done. The interesting thing about the Jenkins that it is being forked from the another project which is called Hudson. After the dispute with the Oracle, Jenkins being forked from the Hudson. Earlier the product was Hudson before the Jenkins. Jenkins is a server-based application which requires web server like Apache Tomcat to execute. If we will discuss about the reason behind the popularity of the Jenkins, then it's a monitoring of repeated tasks which arise during the development of the project. It means during the development of the project, there's a several tasks which will be repeated. If we discuss some generic case, then during the development of the product, you need to execute the test case multiple times on your product. Even there's a possibility that you need to execute the test case multiple times in a day on your project which is in the development. Jenkins will do that particular job very efficiently without any manual intervention. That's why Jenkins is a very helpful during the product development, and this is a very popular tool for the continuous integration. The same example which we just discussed, that to execute the test continuously on your product after the each commit or after some period within a day, then you can use the Jenkins to do that particular job. Now let's discuss why we use continuous integration with the Jenkins. I can count on ample enough reasons to use the Jenkins for the continuous integration. I'm listing few of the important one so that we can discuss around it. With the help of the Jenkins, code is built and test as soon as the developer commits the code. Jenkins will build and test the code many times during the day. As per your configuration of the Jenkins job, Jenkins can build and test your code even after each commit which you are doing in your centralized repository. Or you can execute the Jenkins job multiple times to build and test your product code in a day. On the successful build, it means there's no error inside the test code and the compilation of your product. That means the build is successful. In that case, Jenkins will deploy the source code into the test server or the server which you have defined and notify the development team that the build is green and they can consume that particular build. In any case, if some test got failed or the compilation error is there, then Jenkins will mark the build as a failed and it will notify the errors and the reason to the developers why the build is failing, so that developer can easily backtrack the issue, resolve it and again execute the Jenkins job to build the product. In the Jenkins, the automated builds and test process saving the time and reduce the defect in the product. Let's discuss about the advantage of the Jenkins. So Jenkins is being managed by the community which is very open. Every month they hold public meetings and take inputs from the public for the development of the Jenkins product. We can also track on the Jenkins official site. Jenkins release their builds very frequently. It means there is active development happening on the Jenkins, which is an open source but still being managed by the highly technical team and the efficient team. As technology is growing, so does the Jenkins. So far, Jenkins has around 320 plugin publishing on its plugin database. With the plugins, Jenkins become even more powerful and feature rich. It means Jenkins bare installation comes with the basic features, but if you want any feature to add in your Jenkins, you can search for that particular plugin and install that plugin on your Jenkins, so that Jenkins will bundle with that particular plugin and incorporate the feature of that particular plugin. Right now, till date, I'm recording this lecture. There are more than 320 plus plugins in the Jenkins, which will make the Jenkins more powerful as compared to the other CI tools, because this also have the multiple advantage. When you are installing the Jenkins, that is not a heavy software, but as soon as you require something, you require some new features, you can directly download the plugins from the Jenkins and incorporate this plugin on your Jenkins. And I would like to mention that is just a few click procedure. You don't need any advanced or command line skill set to do that particular job. Jenkins also support cloud-based architecture, so that you can deploy the Jenkins on the cloud-based platform as well. In this particular course as well, we will see how we can deploy the Jenkins on the local machine, on the cloud machine, and inside the container as well. Jenkins supports Docker containers, so that you can containerize the Jenkins process. Yes, we will see how we can execute the Jenkins within the container and execute our job with the help of the Jenkins. Let's talk about the alternative of the Jenkins which is available in the market. There are some kind of tools which are self-hosted and some kind of tools which have the cloud-based hosting. The first one is the Drone CI, which is a continuous delivery platform written in the Go language. This is the self-hosted alternative of the Jenkins. The next we can consider the TeamCity, which is being provided by the JetBrains, which is also a self-hosted alternative of the Jenkins. Then we have the Wrecker. We may use the Circle CI. We have the CodeShip, and we have the Semaphore CI. Wrecker, Circle CI, CodeShip, and the Semaphore CI, they all are the cloud hosting based systems. You can host these machines even on your local Windows or Linux servers, or you can directly host them on the cloud based servers as well. So that's all about the introduction of the Jenkins. From the coming lecture, we will see how we can use the Jenkins and how we can implement the feature on the Jenkins. Thank you, team. Thanks for your time.